Hello, I'm Shelly Unwin and I'm here at the National Library of Australia to bring you a school holiday workshop. I hope you're having an amazing time on your school holidays and I hope you're ready to get a little bit excited about space. Because the picture book that I'm going to share with you this morning is called Blast Off. It's written by me, Shelly Unwin, and illustrated by Ben Wood, and this book's published by Penguin Random House. It's a great fun book that takes us on an adventure into space. You can see there the solar system and the opening pages ask you if you're ready to explore. So are you? Are you ready to explore space? Let's get started. First we have to count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! We go through space and we're going to land on the first planet. I wonder if you know which is the first planet nearest the sun. Did you guess? Stand back! Mercury is mega hot and closest to the sun. You couldn't visit Mercury, the heat would burn your bum. This doggy has been cooking from a cookbook called Let's Bake Waffles, and that's going to be part of one of the challenges I set you today. There's going to be 9 challenges, 1 for each planet and 1 for Pluto, because I feel a little bit sorry for Pluto that it didn't make it into the book. It's hot, hot, hot on Mercury. Next planet, sun visors down. Venus is the brightest. Its clouds are hot and thick. Don't go too near this rocky place. The smell will make you sick. Oh no, look at poor puppy dog. He's feeling a little bit sick and you don't want to be sick in your space helmet. This looks familiar. Earth's the planet we call home, where air and water flow, the perfect distance from the sun to let wacky creatures grow. There's some wacky creatures on this page. Elephants are wacky. Orcas are wacky. What about pelicans with their big beaks? They're really wacky. Can you spot the rovers? Mars is red and bitter cold with dirty, dusty air. Space probes have been to Mars, but are there Martians there? Do you know what a Martian is? It's an alien that lives on Mars. I wonder if there really are aliens that live on Mars. Watch out for moons! Bump! Oh no, he looks grumpy. Jupiter's humongous, the solar system king, but fly too near the big red spot and you could get sucked in. Do you know this planet? Do you recognize the rings? Let's count the rings, Puppy says. Look, they're hula hooping in space. That might be part of one of our challenges. Saturn's rings are ice and rock. They sparkle like a jewel. Getting here can take 3 years and lots of fuel. Ooh, gloves and beanies on. Uranus is an icy giant. From our rocket, it looks blue. With no surface here to stand on, you'd simply fall straight through. Woohoo! Wee-hee! Hold on to your hats. Neptune's wrapped in frozen clouds, racing like a stream. If you flew into its gusty winds, you'd end up like whipped cream. Did you see that? Mimi, Papa, grab my tentacle. Wait for me. We've been to all the planets now. All the planets in the solar system. And at the back of the book, there's some fun facts so you can learn a little bit more about each of the planets. And we do mention Pluto, because Pluto is not a planet anymore. It's now called a dwarf planet because they decided it wasn't big enough to be one of the planets. And it tells you a little bit about the moon, and also there's some information about some rockets like Apollo 11. So you can have a look at this book. You can borrow it from the library, or you can buy it from the National Bookshop here at the National Library. And now I'm going to set you a challenge for each of the different planet pages. So I hope you're ready. Okay, so are you ready for your challenges? This is challenge number 1, and it's on Mercury. So I don't know whether you noticed, I think I mentioned, Ben Wood, the amazing illustrator for Blastoff, he drew this little book called Let's Bake Waffles, which is obviously a play on words for this puppy dog, because it should be Let's Bake Waffles, but he's called it Waffles because it's a dog. I thought it would be fun to set you a challenge to see if you could come up with any other animal play on word cookbook ideas. I've had a couple of ideas myself, so I thought maybe something like perfect mooncakes for the pussycat in space, or cooking catastrophes. Did you get it? Catastrophes. Or maybe pour some baking ideas for another puppy dog in space. So have a think. It doesn't have to be a cat or a dog. It could be a frog or a horse or a snake. It could be any animal you like in space that's doing some baking, and see if you can come up with a funny name for a cookbook. Okay, challenge number 2 is for the Venus planet. The Venus challenge is to design your own funky sunglasses that you take with you if you were going to visit Venus, because Ben's drawn some really funky sunglasses. I've got my own funky sunglasses. I didn't make these, but they're pretty cool, right? No? You're not feeling it? Okay, you can do better than that. You can design your own funky sunglasses. This is a drawing challenge that you take with you to Venus. Have a go. It's time for challenge number 3, and we are at the planet Earth. Do you know Earth? Yeah, you live there, don't you? I know. So, with the Earth challenge, you're going to need a pencil, piece of paper, and maybe some colouring pens, because what we're going to do is combine some wacky Earth creatures together to make a bit of an alien. I was thinking of drawing maybe an orca with a chameleon to make an orchameleon. I'll show you what I'm thinking. So an orca's got a cute little nose. I'm going to give him a big smile. He's a happy orca, this one. And then, after I've done his fin, I'm going to turn him into a chameleon, which has got a big curly tail. And this will look really good when you put colour to it. I don't know what chameleon's legs look like really, but how's that for an orca? They have these funny shapes here. Actually, do you know what? I've cheated. So I did one earlier and I've coloured it in. And it looks like this. The orchameleon. They look quite good when they're coloured. I think there are so many wacky creatures on Earth that you could go to town with this challenge. You could mix a pelican with a jellyfish and call it a pellyfish. Or you could mix a giraffe with a snake and then give it a really funky name. So have a think about all of the crazy animals. Some of them live in the sea, some of them live on the land, some of them are birds, fly in the sky, and see what funky animals that you can come up with, combine together and make your own Earth-like alien. That's challenge number 3. Challenge number 4. We're here on Mars. Some people believe that on Mars there are aliens called Martians. Now, I'm not sure if there are aliens called Martians on Mars, but I do know one thing. If there are, they don't say hello like we do here on Earth. Here on Earth, we say hi with a wave. Hi, Ben. Sometimes a handshake. But I wonder how Martians greet each other. Maybe it's like this. Boop. Maybe not. Maybe you know how Martians greet. I'd like you for this challenge to make up your own Martian greeting and then share it with your mum or your dad, your cousins, your brother, your sister, even maybe your puppy dog, and see if they like your Martian greeting. Have fun. Challenge number 5. We're on Jupiter now, the biggest planet in the solar system, but it's also known for something else that's big, and that's its red spot. So your challenge for Jupiter is to do some research. Now you can do that by coming to the library and looking through the non-fiction books, or with mum and dad's permission, you can go on the internet and have a look if you can find out what it is that makes the big red spot on Jupiter. And some of you might already know, because I know some of you are really clever with your space facts. So maybe you could find out something by researching that you don't know about Jupiter. It could be about its moons or all sorts of different things. But do some research for Jupiter. Enjoy your challenge. Okay, challenge number 6 is for Saturn. Now, when I was reading the book, I mentioned there might be a hula hoop challenge. This is it. This is the ring of Saturn. Well, there's rings of Saturn, but I definitely can't hula hoop with more than one ring. I wonder if you can hula hoop. If you have a hula hoop at home, have a go at the Saturn challenge and have a go at hula hooping. All right, you ready? I might not be very good at this. I've been practicing. Right, ready? Go. Oh, yeah, woohoo! I think I nailed it. I bet you can do longer than that. Now, if you don't have a hula hoop at home, maybe you could try balancing a ball on your finger. I didn't bring a ball because I definitely can't do that, but you might be able to. Give it a go. It's the Saturn challenge. It's just for fun. See how good you are. Challenge number 7. We're on Uranus. It's a very, very cold planet. Now, something you might not know about the book Blast Off is that our illustrator, Ben Wood, has very sneakily drawn an alien on every single planet page. And some of them are really tricky to find. So for this challenge, you'll have to look at the picture that's taken that's in the link and see if you can find the alien that's hiding somewhere on this planet page. It's very tricky. Good luck. Challenge number 8. We're on the planet Neptune, and Neptune is the most windy planet in the solar system. So I thought it'd be fun today to make a wind sock. And a wind sock is something that you hang up outside, and it shows you the direction of the wind, because the wind catches and it blows out, so you can see which way the wind's blowing. And I've made this one, and I thought I'd show you how you put a wind sock together. And you could do one at home. You don't need much. You need a toilet roll insert, some paper to cover it, which in this version I just decorated with some wax crayons to make it look like a solar system. But then at home I actually found some really awesome star wrapping paper. So I thought I'd use this. And you can either use tissue paper or wool, or even just paper cut into thin strands. And you need about 6 strands, all the same length. So this time I've used wool. So I've got 6 strands of very cool wool. My daughter's into doing things with wool, so I've borrowed some of her really funky, I think it looks a little bit solar system colour, doesn't it? So I'm going to use that wool, and I'm going to just pop them on the bottom. I don't know if you noticed, but I've cut that just about the right size to cover the toilet roll with a little bit of spare on the top. So we're going to stick the wool along one edge, like that. And then we're going to wrap it around the toilet roll, starting with the end that's got spare. So it looks like that. And then I'll sellotape along the seam. And then I've got a little bit of excess at the top. So I'm just going to poke that inside, and then you don't see any of the toilet roll poking out the top. And the last thing you need to do is give it a handle so that you can hang it on something. And I thought it would be nice to use the same string for a handle, so you need a couple more pieces of sellotape. You poke those inside. This is a little bit tricky. You might need some help from mum or dad for this part. You stick those in there like that on one side, and the same again on the other. I'm going to make my sellotape a little bit shorter. It's tricky if it's too long. Here we go. Pop that in there. They need to be nice and stuck down. And it hangs like that. And when we go outside, we might get to see the tail flying, and it'll show us which way the wind's blowing. So have a go at making one of those at home. And you can use white paper and colour it in. And you can use white paper for this, or you can use tissue paper or wool, anything you like to make it look funky like that. Okay, have fun with challenge number 8. Okay, challenge number 9, the final challenge today. You might be a word person like me. There's nothing I like more than playing with words and writing books like Blast Off. And for all of the verses in there, for all of the different planets, I had to work with facts about the planets and put them into rhyming verses to make a story. But poor old Pluto, now that it's a dwarf planet, didn't get a run in this book, and I think that's a little bit sad. So I wondered whether maybe you clever wordsmiths at home could write your own verses for the planet Pluto as if it was going to be included in Blast Off. Now the verses that I've used for the rest of the book, they're all 4 lines long and they rhyme on every other line. So the second line rhymes with the last line. So maybe you could have a go at writing a verse for Pluto to put into Blast Off. See how you go. So we've come outside the National Library to test our windsocks to see if they're working, and we're very lucky because it's a beautiful windy day today. And you can see that our windsocks are working perfectly. They're showing us the direction that the wind is blowing, and it's this way because the tails are going out that way. What great windsocks! Thank you for joining me today at the National Library of Australia. Wherever you are in Australia, I hope you've had an amazing time and that you enjoy having a go at the challenges I've set for each of the planets in Blast Off. Have a great time and enjoy the rest of your holidays. Bye.